What's up guys, welcome to my first ever YouTube video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm getting you here to get some tips for weight loss, especially now it's the New Year's resolutions and all that shenanigans. So, I just want to do a really quick introduction on myself and just give you a bit of background on why I'm doing these videos and why you should watch them, really. So, I'm 25 years old and as you guessed from the title, I've currently lost 65 kilos, scale weight. That's a whole different story, but yeah, basically what the scale said is 65 kilos lighter, which is over 140 pounds for my American friends. So essentially, I just want to go do a really quick history lesson and how I got to 160 kilos. I'm just going to start putting a few pictures here on the side so you can paint the storyline a bit better. So I'll start off with around 7 years old, normal age. I'm not going to bore you too much, and I'm going to flick through basically up until I was 23 years old, which is the heaviest I've ever been, so 160 kilos. Yeah, as you can tell from the pictures I was showing, a gradual weight increase, and I believe around the age of 13, 14 is where I really started to put on weight. Nothing fundamentally went wrong in my childhood or anything like that. Pretty normal as everyone else. The only major thing that happened was we came over from Greece at the age of 7, so just a bit of a cultural shock really, and change of scenery, etc., which I'm sure happens to a lot of people, especially this day and age. So yes, as you can see, age 17, 18, I went on a diet, so the weight started to come back down again, but then I went to uni. Stress levels through the roof, as I'm sure everyone can relate, whoever went to uni. And then after about the 3rd and 4th year of university, that's where the big boy stuff started happening. So 159 kilos, the bulk started kicking in. And that is this picture here, which is straight after my master's graduation. So the journey pretty much started when I finished my master's. I joined my current work, which is in the pharmaceutical industry, specifically diabetes. And my father is type 2 diabetic, and he was uncontrolled back then. And I learned all about the complications that can take place when you have type 2 diabetes. And I basically wanted to kickstart a weight loss journey just to make sure he's controlled as well. And he was in the red zone basically. So that's how it's all started. So before I share my 5 tips as to how I lost my weight, I just want to put a quick disclaimer out there that this video or the series of these videos aren't going to be a quick fix for you guys, and it's not going to be an out-of-the-box, ready-to-go weight loss plan. My main aim for these videos is just to share a few science tips, mainly nutrition-based, and just to get the basic understanding of weight loss in terms of the biology and the nutritional side of things as well. So yeah, I just wanted to put it out there that it's not going to be an easy fix, but I just want to equip you with as many lessons as possible so you guys can tailor it. But, and the big but, which is why I'm doing these videos, I'm going to try and help you to discover the tips that work for you guys, because this is a trial and error. I've helped my family members lose weight, obviously I've done this myself, and it's about understanding what works best for you, and hopefully through the tips that I give you, you can tweak them, and hopefully they'll work for you guys as well. So, going into the 5 tips as to how I lost the 65 kilos, number 1, and probably the most important out of all of them, you need to eat the food you like, and I cannot stress that enough. I'm not talking about going and eating pizzas, burgers, because that's what you like. I'm talking about eating healthy food. I don't like to use the word health. Low density calorie foods, and making sure you tweak them with the flavor palette that you have. I'm sounding like some sort of Gordon Ramsay-esque figure here. I'm just saying flavor your food. I think that's the most easy way of describing what I'm trying to say. Making sure what you have is flavorful to what you like, because not everyone likes the same things. And again, that's something I'm going to share with you guys down the line. So number 1, make sure you eat food you like, but don't take it out of context, but making sure you enjoy it. Number 2, counting your calories. You need to establish what your maintenance calories are. So maintenance calories are the calories you need to input into your body to make sure your weight is maintained. Now again, the key fundamental element to weight loss is making sure input calories, to make it simple as possible, is less than what your maintenance calories are. So this gap here is what's going to ensure you have weight loss, because the gap here needs to be filled by some sort of energy, and the energy you're going to use is going to come from your fat cells, your adipose cells, to burn and obviously fuel whatever your body needs for energy. And there's so many good apps out there. I personally use MyFitnessPal because it has presets of specific foods. It's just so much easier. You can just scan your barcode of whatever you're eating, even minced beef or whatever it is, chicken, breast, whatever it is. It's so simple to use, and I cannot stress enough, you need to count your calories because it's so easy to go overboard, and that will just skew your whole days of calories just through the roof. So there's absolutely no point in making a mistake, especially in the beginning, and diminishing the results that you've tried really hard to achieve. Tip number 3. Again, this really helped me personally because I was eating so much food, so I needed to find another way, especially in the beginning until my stomach started shrinking a bit, to fulfill my appetite, and that is having high volume, low calorie dense foods. Okay, so the foods I'm talking about are your vegetables, your salads, anything green basically, and carrots. I know it sounds really boring, but like I said before, eating the food you like, you need to be able to spice it up a bit. So I'm talking about cooking, for example, your tender stem broccoli, asparagus, sugar snap peas, if I can pronounce it properly, and then putting a bit of, some hot sauce on it, some low-fat mayo, mixing it up, dress it a bit with some flavour so it can go down easier and you actually end up enjoying it. Salads, I'm not talking about getting a bag from your local supermarket and just chucking it down with water or wherever you want to chuck it down with. Just take some care into your prep of your food. So what I'm talking about is putting a bit of tuna, putting a bit of spring onions in your salad, peppers, anything you like that is relatively healthy, just to spice it up a bit and enjoy what you're eating. So that is really, really key. And then again, even if you want to have a burger, for example, which I won't recommend, especially in the beginning, but for the sake of this argument, you want to have a burger, a great tip before you eat that burger will be to have, a good solid portion of vegetables. Again, spice it up with whatever you want, because that will just fill your stomach up for a bit, followed by the burger, and then you won't have the appetite left over just from having the burger on its own, for example. And that might make you binge 2 hours or an hour down the line. So, tip number 3, high volume, low density calorie food. Tip number 4, again, really, really important to weigh yourself every week. I know a lot of people find it a really daunting task to weigh yourself in case you've put on weight, or, well, that's it really, because if you lose weight, ideal. So it is putting on the weight that people are scared of. But if you weigh yourself every week, you can see what you're doing from the previous week. So whatever you've done, is it working, is it not? Are you basically wasting your time, putting so much effort into whatever you're doing and not getting the result out of it? That's the reason to weigh yourself. So for some people, like I said before, it is being scared of putting on the weight. Let's go down that route, for example. Let's pretend you've been dieting for a week and you've put on 2 kilos, for example, worst case scenario. So you go and weigh yourself on your allocated day and you see you put on 2 kilos and you're like, oh shit, I've put on 2 kilos, what am I doing wrong? I've been eating normally, blah, blah, blah. So you need to understand what you've been doing wrong. Most likely, you've been counting your calories wrong. You've set your maintenance calories too high, which will mean that you're in a surplus, calorie surplus, or what you've done is you're not being active enough. So those two go hand in hand. So your calorie intake versus your calorie output is imbalanced. But anyway, so you put on weight, you know what you've been doing for the last week is wrong. We need to be able to fix it. And if you didn't weigh yourself in the first week, in the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, then you've wasted 2 or 3 weeks of your dieting phase, especially in the beginning, where you would have had quick results. So essentially, it's saving you time and all the effort you've put in the previous week. And just view it as a trial and error phase. So you're just seeing what's been going on in the last week. At the end of the day, all it is a digital number on a piece of electric machinery, whatever you want to call it, and we're just trying to get that number down. It's as simple as that. So yeah, it's just a number and we're just trying to get that down. As simple as that. Weigh yourself every week. So tip number 5, as to how I lost the 65 kilos, is calorie expenditure. So, I'm not saying go and do 30 minutes of cardio every single day, or go and do a weightlifting session every single day again. It's just making sure you expend calories. So if that means you're in an active job, for example, and you're, let's say, a builder, okay? Whatever you're doing on a daily basis as a builder is going to be burning calories more than being in an office. If you are in an office, make sure you can go for a walk during lunchtime. Make sure when you get home, I don't know, you might go for a walk with your dog. anything essentially that will make you a bit more active. And when I say active, I'm not talking theoretically the gym or running outside the gym, whatever you might deem an activity. It's just basically moving your body so you can burn more calories instead of doing what you've been doing the last X amount of years. So the more activity you can do, the better it's going to be for your weight loss journey, the more calories you're going to be burning, and you're going to have a bigger window of that calorie deficit. The bigger calorie deficit, the more weight loss. So it is very, very simple. Again, I'm not going to prescribe you 30 minutes of activity every single day, because everyone is different. Everyone has different needs, different responsibilities. So whatever you can do to essentially create a bigger calorie deficit is going to really help you out. I don't know, maybe go for a 10, 15, 20 minute walk, whatever you can afford basically throughout your whole day to squeeze in a bit more activity is going to really, really help you out, especially in the beginning of your weight loss journey, just so we can get rid of as many fat cells as possible in the beginning. So guys, thank you so much for making it so far into the video. Those are my 5 tips as to how I lost 65 kilos in around 14 months. Now what I want to do with this channel is share as many tips as possible, especially around food hacks that will really help you out in the beginning of your weight loss journey. And if I can help one person out of everyone who's watching, then that will be brilliant. Please stay tuned. I'm going to put a quick poll, hopefully it works, in terms of what video you guys want to see next. So you have a choice of food hacks, number 2, more in-depth analysis around the 5 tips that I've shared with you guys today, and number 3 will be tips as to how to get around the binge eating effect. Again, something that everyone goes through when you're dieting, so hopefully these few tips will help you out as well. So yeah, let me know what video you want to see next. First of all, thank you so much for watching. This is a new channel, so if you can subscribe, that would be brilliant. And please comment, tell me what you guys have been through. Tell me how I can help you out. Let's work this out together. If I can help you, that would be brilliant. And then we can share our success with the rest of the people that are following this channel. So please comment. Like I said, subscribe, it's a new channel. Let's get this community growing, because it will be brilliant if we can get this into a movement. So thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. Bye.